Krishna, Hare Krishna.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण dear devotee. So today is Thursday. It is 8th of May. It is Madhusudana Masa or Vaishakha Masa, Shukla Paksham, and Ekadasi Tithi. So today is Mohini Ekadasi. So fasting from grains, beans, and cereals, and all kinds of grains. Okay, so we shall read some few lines from Ekadasi Katha. So can I request Saranya Mataji to read the Ekadasi Katha? Mataji is available.
Hare Krishna. Sri Yudhishthira Maharaj said, O Janardana, what is the name of the Ekadashi that occurs during the light fortnight, Shukla Paksha, of the month of Vaishakha, April-May? What is the process for observing it properly? Kindly narrate all these details to me. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, replied, O blessed son of Dharma, what Vashishta Muni once told to Lord Ramachandra, I shall now describe to you. Please hear me attentively. Lord Ramachandra asked Vashishta Muni, O great sage, I would like to hear about the best of all fasting days, that day which destroys all kinds of sins and sorrows. I have suffered long enough in separation from my wife, my dear Sita, and so I wish to hear from you about how my sufferings can be ended. The sage Vashishta replied, O Lord Rama, you whose intelligence is so keen, simply by remembering your name, one can cross the ocean of material world. You have questioned me in order to benefit all humanity and fulfill everyone's desire. I shall now describe the day of fasting which purifies the whole world. O Rama, that day is known as Vaishakha Shukla Ekadashi, which falls on Dwadashi. It removes all sins and is famous as Mohini Ekadashi. Truly, O dear Rama, the merit of this Ekadashi frees the fortunate souls who observe it from the network of illusion. Therefore, if you want to relieve your sufferings, observe this auspicious Ekadashi perfectly, for it removes all obstacles from one's path and relieves the greatest miseries. Kindly listen as I describe its glories, because for one who even just hears about this auspicious Ekadashi, the greatest sins are nullified. On the bank of Saraswati River, there was once a beautiful city named Bhadravati, which was ruled by King Dyudiman. O Rama, that steadfast, truthful, and highly intelligent king was born in the dynasty of the moon, Chandravamsha. In his kingdom, in his kingdom was a merchant named Dhanapala who possessed a great deal of wealth of food, grains, and money. He was also very pious. Dhanapala arranged for lake to be dug, sacrificial areas to be erected, and beautiful gardens to be cultivated for the benefit of all the citizens of Bhadravati. He was an excellent devotee of Lord Vishnu and had five sons, Sumana, Dyutiman, Medhavi, Sugriti, and Drish, Drishtabudi. Unfortunately, his son Drishtabudi always engaged in grateful, sinful activities such as sleeping with prostitutes and associating with similar degraded persons. He enjoyed illicit sex, gambling, and many other varieties of acts aimed at gratifying senses. He disrespected the demigods, devas, the Brahmins, the forefathers, and other elders of the community, as well as his family guests. The evil-hearted Drishtabuddhi Drishtabuddhi spent up his father's wealth indiscriminately, always fasting on untouchable food, always feasting on untouchable foods and drinking alcohol to excess. One day, Dhanapala kicked Drishtabuddhi out of his house after he saw him walking along the road arm in arm with a non-prostitute. From then, all the Drishtabuddhis relatives were highly critical to him and distanced themselves from him also. After he had sold all his inherited ornaments and become destitute, the prostitute also abandoned him and insulted him because of his poverty. Drishtabuddhi was now full of anxiety and also hungry. He thought, what should I do? Where should I go? How can I maintain myself? He then began to steal. The king's constables arrested him, but when they learned who it was and that his father was the famous Dhanabala, they released him. He was caught and released in this way many times, but at last, sick of his arrogance and total respect for others and their property, the ill-mannered Drishtabuddhi was apprehended, handcuffed, and then beaten. After whipping him, the king's marshals warned him, "O evil-minded one, there is no place for you in this kingdom." However, Drishtabuddhi was freed from his tribulation by his fathers and immediately therefore entered the dense forest. He wandered here and there, hungry and thirsty and suffering greatly. Eventually, he began killing the jungle animals, the lions, deers, boars, and even the wolves for food. Always ready in his hand was his bow, always on his shoulder was his quiver full of arrows. He also killed many birds such as chakoras, peacocks, kangas, doves, and pigeons. He unhesitatingly slaughtered many species of birds and animals to maintain his sinful way of life. The sinful result accumulated more and more each day. On account of his previous sins, he was now immersed in an ocean of great sin that was so relentless that it appeared that he could not get out. Drishtabuddhi was always miserable and anxious, but one day during the month of Vaishakha, by the force of some of his past merit, he chanced upon the sacred ashram of Kaundiniya Muni. The great saint had just finished bathing in the Ganges river and water was dripping from him still. Drishtabuddhi had the great good fortune to touch some of the droplets of water that were falling from the great saint's wet clothing. Instantly, Instantly, Drishtabuddhi was freed from his ignorance and his sinful reaction were reduced. Offering his humble obeisances to Kaundiniya Muni, Drishtabuddhi prayed to him with joined palms. O great Brahmana, please describe to me some of the atonement I may perform without too much endeavor. I have committed so many sins in my life, and these have now made me very poor. The great Rishi replied, O son, listen with great attention, for by hearing me your life will change and you will become free from all remaining sins. In the light fortnight of every month, Vaishakha, April, May, there occur the sacred Mohini Ekadashi, which has the power to nullify sins as vast and weighty as Mountain Sumeru. If you follow my advice faithfully, observe a fast on this Ekadashi, which is so dear to Lord Hari, you will be freed from all the sinful reactions of many, many births. Hearing these words with great joy, Drishtabuddhi promised to observe a fast on Mohini Ekadashi according to the sage's instruction and direction. O best of kings, O Lord, O Ramachandra Bhagavan, by fasting completely on Mohini Ekadashi, the once sinful Drishtabuddhi has the, progi- the prodigal son of merchant Dhanabala become sinless. Afterwards, he achieved a beautiful transcendental form and free at last all obstacles, rode upon the carrier of Lord Vishnu Garuda to the supreme abode of the Lord. O Ramachandra, the fast day of Mohini Ekadashi removes the darkest illusory attachment to material existence. There is thus no better fast day in all the three worlds than this. Lord Sri Krishna concluded, and so, O Yudhishthira, there is no place of pilgrimage, no sacrifice, and no charity that can bestow merit equal to even 1/16th of the merit a faithful devotee of mine obtains by observing the Mohini Ekadashi. And he who hears and studies the glories of Mohini Ekadashi achieves the merit of giving away 1,000 cows in charity. Thus ends the narration of the glories of Vaishakha Shukla Ekadashi or Mohini Ekadashi from the Kurma Purana. Uh, shall I read the note also, Prabhu?
Um, yes, Mataji, explain.
Okay, note. If the holy fast falls on Dwadashi, it is still called Ekadashi in the Vedic literature. Furthermore, in Garuda Purana 1.125.6, the Lord Brahma states to Narada Muni, O Brahmana, the fast should be observed when there is a full Ekadashi, a mixture of Ekadashi and Dwadashi, or a mixture of three, Ekadashi, Dwadashi, and Trayodashi, but never on the day when there is a mixture of Dashami and Ekadashi. This is also upheld in the Hari Bhakti Vilas, Vaishnava Smriti Shastra, and upheld by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura Prabhupada in his Navadvipa Panchika introduction. Hare Krishna.
Mohni Ekadasi ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you, Mataji. That is from the events perspective. So today is fasting from all grains, beans, and cereals. And tomorrow is Rukmini Dwadasi. That is tomorrow. Okay, so we shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam format. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Buddha was speaking to Vidura and glorifying Krishna and his beauty. So during the arena of Rajasi sacrifice, all the demigods assembled. At the time, they were thinking the beautiful form of Krishna that it is created by Brahma. In such a way, they were also bewildered. So far, he was mentioning how unfortunate of these people of this material world, specifically Hindu family. And after saying that, they could not understand Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and Krishna has come in that um, the beautiful form in order to perform all his pastimes. Uh, Saying that, and even demigods also thinking that it is the creation of Brahma. Krishna is creation of Brahma. Yad dharmo y- Yad dharma sunoho bhadaraj suye nirikcha druk swastayenam trilokaham kasnena chadyeha gatam vidhatu arvakrutau kaushalam iti manyatam. Arvakrutau Kaushalam iti amanyata. Likewise, they were thinking that Krishna is the creation of Brahma. How beautiful it is like that. So, in such a way, in that sequence, further, Uddhava is saying to Vidura about Krishna's beautiful pastimes. So, during when Krishna was in the youthful time, so when he has performed rasa dance and with his all beautiful uh, way of loving exchanges between gopis and Krishna. So after that, Krishna has left from Vrindavana. Krishna has left from Vrindavana. At that time, these gopis they went through so much of lamentation, so much of lamentation. So, but later on, uh, these people of Vrindavana, all the gopis, they could not even able to carry out their day-to-day activities because of that complete affection towards Krishna. So likewise, he started speaking about the relationships between the gopis and Krishna. So during the Vrindavana pastimes. Okay, so we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, second chapter, verse number 14. यस्यानुरागाप्लुतः सरासं लीलावलोकप्रीतिलब्धमानाहं ब्रजस्त्रियो दृग्भिः अनुप्रवृत्तः धियो अवतस्तुः किल कृत्यशेषाहम् यस्यानुरागाप्लुतः सरास. Yasya means all. We are discussing about Krishna. So who is the beauty personified? This is Swayoga Maya Balam Darshayata Gurhitam. That Krishna, Yasya Anuraga Pluta Hasarasa. Anuraga is the attachment. Anuraga, Pluta. Pluta is the enhanced by Hasa Rasa, and by his laughter, and Rasa is the humors, Leela is the pastimes. Hasa Rasa Leela Avaloka Pratilabdhamanaha. Avaloka is by his glancing. See, laughter, humors, pastimes, and glancing. Pratilabdha Manaha. They have obtained thereof, and Manaha anguished. So until this point, Uddhava is saying about Krishna's different way of exchanges. Hasa, Rasa, Leela, and Avaloka. So they have what they have got all Pratilabdha. Pratilabdha is the one who has got Pratibuddha Vastuhu. What is the? This is the God, love of Godhead. This is one has to attain. So here, Krishna's all these things, different pastimes, they were attained by Pratilabdha Manaha, by the gopis. And Manaha is their anguished. And who are anguished? Vrajastriya. Vrajastriya, the damsels of Vraja. Drigbihi anupravruta, and with the eyes anupravruta, they are always following Krishna because they have attained that love of Godhead. They could not leave a single moment. And wherever Krishna is moving, that's where they are moving. This is Vraja. Vrajastriyaha is Vrajantam means it is moving according to the object. And wherever Krishna goes, all of their mind and eyes, they're all following him. Anupravritta. Drigbihi anupravritta, with their eyes. Vrajastriya drigbihi anupravritta. Diyaha, by their intelligence as well. And avastuhu, sat silent. Avatastuhu, they sat silently. Kilakritya sheshaha. Indeed, Kritya sheshaha, without finishing household duties. So they are always following Krishna with their eyes, their mind, and intelligence, and sitting silently without finishing their household duties. Because they have attained what they have attained. It is the Yasya Anuragapluta Hasa Rasa Leela Avaloka Pratilabdhamanaha. They have attained all these things. Attachment enhanced by laughter, humor, pastimes, and glancing obtained thereof. So that is because of that they could not complete their household duties. That is the attachment, complete absorption. यस्यानुरागाप्लुतः सरास लीलावलोकप्रतिलब्धमानाः व्रजस्त्रियो दृग्भिः अनुप्रवृत्त धियो अवतस्तु किल कृत्यशेषाः. So translation for this shloka. The damsels of Raja, after pastimes of laughter, humor, and exchanges of glances, were anguished when Krishna left them. They used to follow him with their eyes, and thus they sat down with stunned intelligence and could not finish their household duties. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request any unallocated devotees today to read this purport, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, may you read?
Yes, Mataji.
In his period at Vrindavana, Lord Krishna was notorious as a teasing friend in transcendental love to all the girls his age. His love for them was so intense that there is no comparison to that ecstasy, and the damsels of Raja were so much attached to him that their affection excelled that of the great demigods like Brahma and Shiva. Lord Krishna finally admitted his defeat before the transcendental affection of the gopis and declared that he was unable to repay them for their unalloyed affection. Although the gopis were seemingly anguished by the Lord's teasing behavior,
When Krishna would leave them, they could not tolerate the separation and used to follow him with their eyes and minds. They were so stunned by the situation that they could not finish their household duties. No one could excel him, even in the dealing of love exchange between boys and girls. It is said in the revealed scripture, the Lord Krishna personally never goes beyond the boundary of Vrindavan. He remains there eternally because of the transcendental love of the inhabitants. Thus, even though he is not visible at present, he is not away from Vrindavan for a moment.
Srila
Srila
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So in the purport of Srila Prabhupada is explaining, Krishna was notorious as a teasing friend in transcendental love to all the girls of his age in the boyhood. So generally, the girls they like this kind of teasing, small things. That is very beautiful moments one can pass through when they are entering into the teenagers' time. It is a very beautiful thing. Of course, everyone might have, but here the specific attraction is Krishna. So Krishna is the supreme in each and everything. So we could understand how he might have done all those things, loving exchanges with gopis. So his love for them was so intense that there is no comparison to that ecstasy, and the damsels of Raja were so much attached to him that their affection excelled that of great demigods like Brahma and Shiva. This is a very beautiful thing. So whenever we hear Krishna's the loving exchanges, the joking words, and the fun way of speaking, even if you are having some companion to speak some fun or joking words. So Chanakya Pandita says, wherever you go, you must have one friend and also temple. So throughout the world, wherever you go, you must have one temple and a friend. Then you can live happily. So here, Krishna is their accompaniment, and there is no comparison to that ecstasy that the gopis are feeling. So here, Kapil Bhagavan, he was mentioning in his Bhakti Yoga's glorifications, Tai Darshini Avayavaihi Udara Vilasa Hasa Ichita Vamasuktehi Krutatmanu Kruta Pranamsha Bhaktihi Anichito Megatim Anviyam Prayunkte. So by hearing Krishna's pastimes and his smilings and taking darshan of his face, his beautiful face, and the Vama Suktehi, they are very enchanting words. One will lose his Kruta Atmano Kruta Pranamsha Bhaktihi. Kruta Atmano Kruta Prana. Kruta Atmano. So his life and soul, everything will be completely going to Krishna. Pranamsha Bhaktihi, again with the devotion. Bhaktihi Anichito me gatim anvayim prayante. So here, because his life and soul is completely surrendering to Krishna and attracted by Krishna's beauty, his words and his smilings and his enchanting words like that. And also there he mentions like Paschinti teme ruchirani ambatantaha prasanna vaktra arunalochanani rupani divyani varapradani sakam vacham spruhaniyam vadanti. Sakam vacham spruhaniyam vadanti. They're always favorable. Spruhaniyam vadanti. And they will always see here, even though sometimes damsels of Raja, they are also trying to tease Krishna and harshly speaking, but it is all spruhaniyam vadanti. They are all favorable to Krishna only, not inimical. But that is the mood of the gopis. So here, Lord Krishna finally admitted his defeat before the transcendental affection of the gopis and declared that he was unable to repay them for their unalloyed affection. So here, when Krishna says, Naparaye aham nirvadhya samyujham swasadu krityam vibudayushapi vaha. Swasadu krityam vibuda ayushapi vaha. Vibhuda Ayushapi. So by the duration of Brahma, even though na paraye, I cannot able to repay. Na paraye aham nirvadya samyujham swasadu krutyam vibhudayushapi vaham. So Krishna is mentioning to gopis. So after he has disappeared from the gopis, it comes in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 32. There Krishna says in the last two shlokas, when gopis were asking why you have left us in between and what kind of person you are. Likewise, in that sequence, so he was explaining all those things, and finally he says, "Oh gopis, the attraction that you have got, it is uncomparable, and I cannot repay even swasadu krityam vibhuda ayushapivaha, even though I try to repay for throughout Brahma's day. Yama, so he says, Yama bhajan durjaya greha sunkalaha samruchya tadvaha pratiyatu sadhuna. Samruchya tadvaha pratiyatu sadhuna. So you have come by just breaking the durjara geha sunkalaha. It is very difficult to cut the knots of the family attachments. Durjara geha shrunkalaha samvruchya, and you have cut all these attachments from the family attachments, their wife, children, and husband related to home, all these things. Yamajan, Yama bhajan durjara geha shrunkalaha samvruchya. You have cut that one. So Tadvaha pratiyatu sadhana. So let all your devotion be the repayment for yourself. How beautiful it is. Tadvaha pratiyatu sadhana. Vaha means that is of you. Pratiyatu sadhana. Let it be returned by the good activity of yours, by your devotion itself. Tadvaha pratiyatu sadhana. Krishna cannot repay that debt to gopis. He is saying, let your devotion unto me be the repayment for you. So that means he is ever indebted to gopis all the time. Because gopis are always doing service to Krishna, he cannot repay. Even just for those moments, whatever the gopis have showed at the during that time, Krishna says that one. But throughout their life, they're always engaging. That means Krishna can never repay his debt to gopis. So he was saying, Tadvaha pratyatu sadhana, let your uh, unalloyed devotion be the repayment. Therefore, so he says, therefore, please let your own glorious deeds be your compensation. So likewise, Krishna mentioned, there is no comparison to the love and devotion of gopis. So he was unable to repay them for their unalloyed affection. Although the gopis were seemingly anguished by the Lord's teasing behavior, when Krishna would leave them, they could not tolerate the separation and used to follow him with their eyes and minds. So this is again Kapil Bhagavan says, Madguna Sruti Matrena Mai Sarva Guhasaye Manogati Ravichinna Yata Ganga Ambaso Ambhudav. As soon as one hears Krishna's pastimes and all of their desires, mind, life, they are all moving around Krishna only. Mai Sarva Guhasaye. So their mind Manogatir Avichinna Yata Ganga Ambaso Ambhudav. Their mind always flow behind Krishna, just like a water only flows through the ocean. It cannot go to anywhere else. It goes only to ocean. Yata Ganga Ambasu Ambhudav. That's why my bhaktirhi bhutanam amritatvaya kalpate. My bhaktirhi bhutanam amritatvaya kalpate. So this yadasi matsneho bhavatinam madhapanaha. And Krishna says to gopis again that my devotion to me, it is the amritatvaya kalpate. It gives the nectarian feelings to everyone. Amritatvaya. It is the amritatva means no death. It is always eternal. So this matsneho bhavati na madapanaha. That's why, oh gopis, I have awakened the feelings in you. That's why I have disappeared. He says to make more attachment towards me. So here the mood of gopis here They could not tolerate the separation and used to follow him with their eyes and minds. So they were so stunned by the situation that they could not finish their household duties. No one could excel him even in the dealing of love exchanged between boys and girls. Nowadays, if we do not finish our household duties, if we simply said our mother-in-law or someone will come and then they will do something to us. But during that time, because they are everything is rotating around Krishna because the divine energy is working there. So they're always in the safe hands. Nowadays, if we sit like that, of course, we do not sit idly, but because of engaging in the devotional service, Krishna arranges everything. So, and also here Prabhupada is mentioning no one could excel him in the dealing of love exchange between boys and girls. It is the most amorous rasa. And it is said in the revealed scriptures that Lord Krishna personally never goes beyond the boundary of Vrindavana. He remains there eternally because of the transcendent love of the inhabitants. So, and the other day we have seen unconventional devotees of Vrindavana. On Saturday we were discussing a little bit longer on this one. So there are naturally they have got Thakurji, Radhe, Radhe like that because of transcendent love of the inhabitants. Thus, even though he is not visible at present, he is not away from Vrindavana for a moment. He is always there. Okay, so that is from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Buddha is describing to Vidura, and Prabhupada is giving more nectarian insight. This is the mood of the gopis. यस्यानुरागा प्लुतहासरास लीलावलोक प्रतिलब्धमानाः व्रजस्त्रियो दृग्भिः अनुप्रवृत्तः धियो अवतस्तु किल कृत्यशेषाः. They could not complete their activity. They are always moving behind Krishna by their eyes and mind and their intelligence. Okay, likewise, Uddhava was saying to Vidura, just bringing uh, to glorify Krishna. When Vidura asked it to glorify Krishna. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. We shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Okay, so today it is letter to Vasudeva, July 31st, 1970, Los Angeles. Can I request other unallocated devotee to read this letter, please? Okay, I shall read it. My dear Vasudeva, please accept my blessings. I have not heard from you since a long time. I hope everything is going well with you in Krishna consciousness. I know that you have been practicing your painting in a regular schedule and you are very much enthusiastic to be engaged in this. You are not only advanced student in painting, but also in Krishna consciousness. So always pray to Krishna how you shall draw the painting, and I think it will come out nice. My another request to you is that because I am going to Eastern Hemisphere countries, I wish to establish as many branches as possible on that side. As you know me very well, I shall require many pictures of Panchtattva, either Sankirtana or five standing together, also the pictures of Acharyas. Wherever a Sankirtana temple will be established, I shall require at least three pictures, namely your spiritual master, my spiritual master, and Panchtattva, as they are being worshipped in the first apartment of the temple here in Los Angeles. I shall have some color pictures of this first apartment of the Los Angeles temple sent to you for reference. These pictures may be painted on canvas with oil painting, and when it is dried up, they may be rolled all together and dispatched by post air mail. The framework may be done locally. Paraffin paper may be placed between the paintings so they will not stick. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so this is the letter. It is also following yesterday's letter, Jadu Rani's Mataji's letter, just giving the painting and following. Everyone should have their spiritual master and spiritual master of the spiritual master and Panchatattva. And then these three are very important along with the deities. The deities are the center point. And this is Prabhupada is appreciating that you are enthusiastic in your work and also advancing in Krishna consciousness. And always pray that always pray to Krishna how you shall draw the painting. So one has to always pray. Pray for not only painting, even pray to speak and pray to act, pray to engage, pray for anything in the Krishna consciousness. Pray for association. So likewise, pray. We need to pray for everything. Okay, so that is my takeaway from this one. Any other points, dear devotees, from this letter you wanted to highlight? Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. Okay, and from the updates point of view, so today is Thursday evening at 8 p.m. we have got Krishna book reading by Shyam Guruvada Prabhuji. Okay, so that is our upcoming event. Today is Ekadashi. Okay, and also sometimes devotees are also try to donate on these auspicious days. If one is trying to do it, do some kind of dana, tapo dravina danesha. So that is austerities, and then they can do it for a simple statue thing is the Veda base, maybe a couple of pounds to Veda base, and then okay, so that is one thing we can do straight away to the temples. Okay, that is from the updates point of view from me. And dear devotees, if you have got any other updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Hare Krishna. Okay, if there are no updates, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनन्तकोटि वैष्णववृन्द की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय हरे कृष्ण कॉन्शियस डे
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.